Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You're already in the final segment. Today brought to you in part by CAOOY.org, richclub.org, and skv.org. And also glad to have and supporting our program the very, very outstanding Chris Kidd. One of my favorite parts of my program is spending time with Chris, and he's a business guy, a money coach, who also has a great interest in the sports and entertainment arena, and we like to talk about both. We have a lot of fun in that area. And Chris, also you can learn more about him at chriskidd, and that's 2Ds.com. And we also have Dan Shedd, who is a intern with us, working with us on the home media front, and we're delighted to work with him. And he loves sports, and of course Chris and I love sports, and so we're now really early in a football season, although it sure seems like there's some pretty clear definition of what's going to happen. But I thought we'd talk a little bit about the football season, and let me start off with Chris. Chris, your thoughts on the first 2 weeks of college and pro football?
Well, I guess that's depends who you're talking about, but there were certainly some things that I liked. Some nice surprises with my old school where I went at UTSA. They actually really surprised me with the way that they played Houston. That is quite a turnaround from last year, because last year Houston stomped them, and then this year it was kind of the opposite. So that was kind of cool in our house, because my wife and I both went to UTSA. Another surprise, well, they almost beat Arizona the other day.
You're not going to get much sympathy from this audience with that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I should apologize or something. Oops. I do like Houston, though. In fact, one of the coaches over at U of H is an ex-UTSA. In fact, he was their quarterback last year. And not only that, he also went to the same high school as me. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, cool. I'm hoping the Cougars will play a lot better this year against everybody else.
Sure. Okay, so I thought, what I wanted to, let me get Dan's assessment real quick. I want to talk a little bit about the Big Ten here in a moment, which is, the very little 10, more and more. But, Dan, what about your thoughts the first 2 weeks? Let's go ahead and focus, because of our limited time, and that's what we began with college. Focus on college. Your thoughts on the first 2 weeks of college, Dan Shedd?
I would have to say I'm most impressed with Texas A&M. They have so much, drama going into the season. What are we going to do without Johnny? Is this team going to be as good as it's been in the past? And then, boom, they go into South Carolina, show them who's boss, and then they, absolutely kill Lamar. And I'm really excited about Texas A&M football, and their new Kyle Field is pretty sweet. If you've ever seen pictures of the new stadium, wow.
Yeah, now, no one obviously thought that Lamar was going to beat A&M. So, I'm not sure. I wasn't impressed by that win, but I was impressed by the first win of the season against a team ranked number 9, and now, of course, A&M is in the top 10. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm a huge A&M fan. I hope they do extremely well. They're certainly my favorite SEC team, so we'll have to see. Talk a little bit, the Big Ten, the three teams that had potential for playoffs, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Michigan, all fell miserably. They not only played bad, but they played really bad. Your thoughts about the Big Ten? Are they about to become the new Big East, also known as the AAC? What do you think about that there, Chris?
Well, like you said, they're kind of becoming the Little Ten. They did not look good. But I'll tell you, you mentioned Michigan. I'm a big Notre Dame fan, and I loved that game. I thought that was just awesome. And I've got a couple friends that are big Michigan fans, so that just made it a little bit more sweet. But, yeah, I think that conference is really not looking as tough. One thing I guess that kind of plays into is the college playoff that we'll have to talk about here, at an upcoming show. But if you have a team from the Big Ten that's undefeated, and then you've got a team from the SEC that has one loss, and you've got 4 other teams from other conferences that have that maybe they're all undefeated as well. I definitely think that the SEC team should be in that playoff picture, because that is definitely the toughest, or one of the top 2 conferences in college football.
Yeah. What about you, Dan? What do you think about the Big Ten?
I was really surprised actually at the Michigan Notre Dame score. I really thought Michigan was going to, hold their own against Notre Dame, but man, I was so wrong in so many ways. Wow.
I'm depressed that rivalry's over.
I know. All these rivalries are just going to the wayside because, we're moving to another conference, or, we've already scheduled enough games.
The whole realignment, I hate the whole realignment.
I hate it too.
Maryland and Rutgers are now in Big Ten, which may be good for Big Ten, because those ACC is certainly a better conference, and that's where those guys came out of, or at least Maryland did. But I just think it's all insane. All the alignment is insane. I don't like a lot of this realignment.
And it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. Yeah, I thought that Notre Dame was going to win that game, but I thought Michigan was going to be competitive. 31-0 is not competitive. That was embarrassing. And I personally don't think there's going to be an undefeated Big Ten team this year.
I can't call that this early.
Well, I don't think there is, because first of all, the 3 teams that were most likely to be undefeated have all lost games. When's the last time Minnesota's been undefeated?
Oh man,
that's
a good trivia question.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So, yeah, I think Big Ten may be on life support, and that's tough because I'm a Big Ten fan, and even worse, I am a Michigan fan. Last weekend I was literally nauseated by halftime. And so, very, very sad to see the last of this rivalry end in such a sad way. I'm not particularly happy with the way football's going, with the exception of A&M. It looks like it's going to be a long season for this guy who's been looking for it for several months. But you know what? It's 1 week at a time. So, guys, thanks so much for your help. You can reach Chris Kidd and learn more about him at chriskidd.com. Dan Shedd, he shows up pretty much every day here on the program, whether or not I like it or not. Thanks to both of you gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Skid.
When we come back on tomorrow's program, we'll have much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While they're like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. Also, make sure you check out my most recent articles at huffingtonpost.com. Have a great day. Spend it right here on this station.